2. Hey guys, as you can tell, I'm still the production manager. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I try not to get that close to my camera because it could be dangerous for some people. Hope everybody had a good couple of days. We haven't. It's just been one thing after another. Poor Robert he can't get 2 minutes sleep. It's been that kind of a week. And it's what, Tuesday? Wednesday, I don't even blooming know. Last week I had 2 Fridays again. That was smashing. I love that. It is why it says hippie in the bar. It's a bar. I'm a hippie. Yeah. Baby boomer, whatever y'all want to say. I'm a blooming hippie. Even if I am an army vet, I'm also a published author. I'm a lot of things, but mainly I'm a hippie. You got to have some hubris to do all the above. So there's a story. There's a couple of stories in that one. But my husband's always been very supportive of me. And I'm very lucky in that because, like, I have commandeered his bar. And he hooked everything up, made sure everything works for me. He will not so far let me interview him. I would love that, but I understand as well. And he's pretty busy. I don't think he'd have 20 minutes alone to sit in the chair and talk. And he's a Southern boy, whereas I'm from the North. I'm a Chicagoan, and no matter where I've gone in the world, they knew I was in America. It was the accent. You just can't get rid of this thing. Although I'm much better than I used to be. I've been in and out of Texas and Georgia for 30 odd years, so I learned to slow down a little bit. And now they tell me I mumble. Can you buy that? I mean, well, slow down. People are going to say, now you mumble. Uh, find a middle ground, for crying out loud. So I checked everybody out this morning the best I could, being political channels that call themselves news channels, and they can have me on there to debate that anytime they'd like. That would be a hoot. So I saw that this P. Diddy Combs things, or Puff Daddy Combs, or whatever the poor boy is, he's another one they're dragging up apparent sexual abuses from 91 forward. Now, I'm not sure why people wait 40 years on such, excuse me, an allegation. I really don't get that. Um, what I knew of the law, and believe me, I even prosecuted my ex for my own divorce. I fired 3 attorneys, cost me 6 grand, didn't do a blooming thing. Fired them, did it myself, and even the judge wanted me to go be an attorney. I mean, basically, guys, you can be anything you want to be. You don't even have to go to college. You want to be an attorney? Look it up, do the work, you're done. You will have to go and apply for the bar, pass that test. But you don't have to be in college. You don't have to be in college to do things or to learn things. I'm certainly no attorney, and yet I managed to finally rid myself of the ex-husband. Even then, we didn't marry. My husband and I, we'd both been burnt enough. He has a daughter, I have a son. And it ended up really well. We ended up getting married for reasons of good, as we thought at the time, good reasons. Um, we're in luck. My daughter and my son get along as if they were true siblings, just like I did with my adopted brother. Um, she has 3 children. My son has 2. So we've been blessed with 5 grandchildren. On my husband's side, and I say that to denote which children, his oldest grandson, Ezra, and he trained at Fort Sam Houston. And if I had still been there, I'd trained I'd have been, and I'm still so proud of him. I can't say how proud I am of him. The educational system in the South, to be kind, it lacks a lot, you know. Mm. Although my husband says not everybody went to a resort like I did. Our buildings, we must have had 20 buildings, and they all connected into this nuclear tunnel, so which was awesome in the winter. Your hair froze outside the winter. I kid you not. And if you touched it, you lost that piece of hair. In and out. So, but compared to the schools here, I would have been like at a university, where these kids are in, like, they get basketball. You know, I had archery, tennis, swimming. I could go on fencing. I had a lot, that I could pick from. And they don't even do it that way. They just start throwing in school, and whatever happens, happens. And it's really awful. I'm so proud of my son and my daughter because that's the education system they actually. My son was devastated. They didn't even have music class, and he had even given a concert. He was a violinist, and I think he could have gone really high. He even had one performance that my husband and I went to that was just his solo performance. He was that good. We used to tease him and call it a fiddle, drove him nuts. But then I hated it. I hated myself because when I brought him down here, and we really had to come here in order to get my stepdaughter. Otherwise, we wouldn't have custody. And we'd already gone through 5 or 6 years without her, without seeing her. And she's a beautiful kid and I love her dearly. And like I said, it's her oldest son, Ezra, that went to become a medic. I went through Fort Sam, which I was, screaming about, and he was telling his grandpa, my husband, that he had remembered conversations we had had about San Antonio. I couldn't believe it because they were so young. But yeah, so I'm very proud of him, no matter which way. And he's in, I believe, Korea. I'm hoping in some ways. I'm not sure. I'd have to check on that. As a medic, he trained and became a medic right under my feet. Love that boy. His sister Lily, she drives, and I'm not sure if she's picked yet what she wishes to do. And then our daughter's youngest, Eli, is still in school. So I'm not. He hasn't really found which way he wants to go. I knew I was going in, but I thought it was wax. But I knew I was going to go in the wax. Oh, goody! This is the one I'm babysitting. Come down. That's for baby, and we're babysitting him. He's part Bengal. And yes, now my hair went everywhere, so pay no attention. So I was talking about my grandchildren. My grandson on my son's side has already served and has returned home from Korea. And he ETS'd out. He'd had enough. Oh, here she comes again. Here, get in that chair. I'm fighting a losing battle here. My friend had to let her apartment go and move in with her mother, who just lives down a few streets from me. And her mother and I get along great. Michelle is her name. And she was crying and crying when she called me. And I'm like her grandma, basically, because she's around my grandson's age. And I've known her about 5 years since she lived with her grandfather next to my friend here, the one side who passed away of a heart attack. And we got along great. And the new people, they already speak to us. So I'm not sure why. I don't care. I'm a high end neighbor anyway. I really don't care. Everybody teaches on. So the grandchildren have done well. We just have young Eli yet to get through high school. And on my son's side, we have still our Zoe, who is so beautiful and intelligent, just like my other granddaughter. You don't want to let them out of the house. So they're coming up, and she's gonna grant. We both have a birthday coming up in August, as well as my husband does, and our anniversary. So yes, we're old as dirt, and we've probably been married too long. I used to like to ask women that when I was 30. I used to think 30 was old. I was wrong. Then we're looking at maybe 80. I crack myself up. I say that all the time, don't I? I've got live chat open, guys. If anybody wants to pop in here, I'll see if I can do at least send an emoji your way. Come on in. Say hi. Say good morning. Grab a drink. So let me know. I've got the chats open. Um, let's see what heads out this way. Um, I'm not that great yet in answering, and right now I don't have my second Chromebook open because usually I don't get a lot of live chat. It's an odd time to put them on between 10 a.m. and noon, but it's really the time that I have to do it. If I waited until evening, you guys would see me in sleepwear in a back, some kind of a heating pad on my back. There she went. There we go. She got us. We're going to have to end for now. Yeah, she got us. Thank you, Betches. You got us. Yeah, you did. Perfect. Perfect. I'm still trying to keep the electronics clear. Okay, this is turning out to be one of those mornings. Yes, I'll have to pop in while I took off. Mom has to go get some stuff. Really good move. Yeah, good move. You don't know no better, no way. I wish you did. Maybe I can splice it together. Yeah, Mommy's got a big mess. Luckily, it missed all the electronics. Maybe I should have been smarter and put my coffee in a cup that wouldn't have spilled. So I really can't blame dumbass. Well, I could, but what good would that do? All right, here we go. Yeah, we got to get the worst of the mess away from the electronics and done. Okay. All right. Yeah, I need a drink and a divorce. And I need a lot of stuff. I need to look that back the hell up. Yeah, this is done. Yeah. All right. What else do I need in here? The rest of the. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Well, try not to stand there. I can only see straight ahead at the moment. Oh, for heaven's sake. All right. Where's the. Yeah. Get down! You've got to get down. I know you have to learn the doggone kid. I'm not at you. Hey, not you either, Pigs. Can you teach this dumbass how to stay off the damn thing? Huh? I'm losing time and I've got only a few minutes now. So do me a favor. Get off. Thank you. Yeah, keep going. If I were you, I'd hide because in a minute I'll be back on and then I'll be through. And I suggest you are nowhere within my orbit when I get there. All right. Luckily, I keep things another way and I keep things to clean up with. So we're almost there. So we'll head into the direction of I was there. And I'll slice it later. Ah, damn. You realize the work it takes for Mommy to splice that? Ugh. It takes Mommy hours to splice this. You don't understand. I know. Oh, where did I put them? Here they are. There's no point in fussing. It wasn't you, Pix. It wasn't you. It was the dumbass who doesn't know any better. So there's no point in being angry at her. She doesn't know. And that's Mommy's fault. I keep the coffee because I get dry mouth. Okay. Well, that needs to be cleaned anyway. See there? Didn't get anything else, right? No, the computer, no. Not the sound, no. All right, we're going to have to put a barrier or something up here. All right, we got that in? Got that in? All right, hang in there a minute. Come back, folks. It's going to take me a second. Sorry. I got mouse spray. That'll have to do. We won't fucking turn that shit over, will we? Oh, goody. You got my lighter, too. Okay, and my Post-its? Yes, you did. Okay, well, we'll leave them to sit like that. And you can stay there in case you're necessary. We're going to have to do an edit. If you guys can hear me, I will definitely edit this out. Oh, okay, here we go again. All right, I got to reload. All right. Hey, gang, you probably heard me because I left you kind of on pause, but one of the cats that we are babysitting decided to throw my coffee all over the place. And most of all, I appreciate that because I probably should not drink so much coffee company. Good grief. Yeah, it's been that kind of day. Let's get this shadow out of my face. Okay, and I may come across a bit loud, but you can turn your sound down if that's the case. Pardon me. I'm in a real, you just wouldn't know. Well, you probably would, but I'm saying if it can go wrong in the last 2 days, it did. Just everything, not just one. Gray Ghost, the one that ran in the house till he found Robert. She found Robert, and he calls her just Ghost now. I still kind of tend to Gray Ghost. I don't know why. Again, had another anaphylactic shock reaction last night. We don't know what triggered it, and we don't. He said he thinks that it's a particular brand of food that she has. with the other cats, and we're gonna. So we went and got items for while I treated her because and everybody says, "Oh, you can find a hospital open. You can find a vet hospital open. Go to Augusta, and call them bitches at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. You ain't finding crap. I'll tell you right now. I was reading down some of the things because I was double checking. I've almost become a veterinarian. I haven't taken the damn test, but you know what I'm saying? And I'm not sticking nothing up a cow's ass. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not going to happen. But I've learned as I've gone, as I was stating about if you want to get your own divorce, if you want to just look it up, go ahead and pay them to print those pages out. Go home. For me, it was on my own typewriter. You guys can use this in a printer. If you want something done and you need something done, nowadays you don't even have to go to the library. You just pull it out and print it. I love that. It's so cool. See, where was I before the cat dumped everything in my lap? Yeah, she's not had the training, so it's not her fault. I'll get a cup of coffee later. I tend to have dry mouth occasionally. And so I have my husband didn't use all of his biotin, so I have that, and that will treat that for me. So you'll have to forgive me if I stop and spray things. It's really not mouth spray. Well, it is, but technically it's not. Ah! I have to try to. I'm going to try to edit that part out. If I don't edit that part out, just consider it a blooper, okay? I meant to. I did finish getting yesterday's post edited, but I never did finish getting it posted to Facebook because Ghost had the attack. Now, a lot of people don't realize that what you have at home is technically about the same thing your cat or dog might need if you can't reach a vet. And we couldn't. We tried the emergency number. We tried veterinary hospital. So don't anybody up here, I mean, so much hate thing. Don't you hit me on live chat or in the comments either and say, oh, if you kept trying, you could find one. No, this is a gust to you. If you didn't try the first 4 times, you're not going to find them after that. I'm just saying. No hate mail. So it was time for me to step in and say, oh, okay. Well, we're going to try this and this because when I locked it up and I knew it was anaphylactic shock. My son's been suffering that since he was 2 years old from fire ants. That's another story. So I knew what would take care of it. And I used to teach the firemen. Epinephrine is your body's own. Well, technically, it's not an antihistamine. It's your own adrenaline. That's the word I'm looking for. It's your own adrenaline. So it's the same in most animals. However, not everything crosses over into animals or vice versa. But it gives you a place to start. And, the tongue out and the heaving, she wasn't getting air. My husband loves to stay in his man cage, and everyone knows he sleeps up there because he snores really loud because he beat stage 4 throat cancer, which none of us thought he could do, and he did. So it's changed his voice just a wee bit, and he is amazing as to how he eats because they tore his throat out. But I mean, he's here. So that's good enough. I mean, for me, it's not good enough for him. Of course, I would feel the same way, but he handles all of that very, very, very well. You would never know that he had survived a stage 4 cancer attack. Most do not. Basically, stage 3, you've only got months. If you go with stage 4, hospice is on the way. Hospice is at my house within 4 days. So I'm trying not to fall apart because, for one, I'm his only caregiver. There's no one but me. And then his brothers came with that was. See, I get up here and I just fidget. I don't know what that's about. In any event, they came and they helped and so forth, and they weren't able to stay long enough to see him beat it, but he was coming back. And I don't know any. And I've been in and out of the nursing field since I was 16, 17 years old. Always hung out at the fireman's house. I mean, that was the thing I did as a kid growing up. We used to hold the policeman's hands if we got lost and they would walk us home. Life changes, but I did it, and I'm honored to say that I taught the paramedics the rudiments of paramedicine that we use now. They didn't have half of that. They had to call it in. But I understand what anaphylactic shock is. Actually, I've also got it myself. If you give me anything with codeine in it, I stop breathing. My son is fire ants. He stops breathing. He swells up. You can't breathe. It's the same anaphylactic shock. Basically, peanuts. It doesn't matter really which one. The reason they're hitting you with an epinephrine, is again adrenaline. So they're paying you're paying $300-400 for epinephrine, which is just have somebody scare the shit out of you, and it probably work. So I knew how to treat her, and I knew also that the gabapentin that I take daily is also an antihistamine, so she could breathe. So I mix my own cocktail up, checking back and forth with the notes from the vet. And you have to be careful when you're online, by the way, and you're looking at these. Don't really click on them because they got you a charge. That's how that my charge. I just got my new card because somebody picked up on a post that I was looking at 2 weeks ago for our little ghost and managed to get me to look at their site. All you had to do was look at their site. They had your stuff. Luckily, my bank is great, and they called me immediately, and I said, "Oh hell no!" So they did not get to screw me. But I wanted to warn everyone else: be careful what website you pull up. And if you do pull it up, read it only. Don't add anything of your own information, your animal's information. Just read it. If it's not what you want, get out. Because if you ask that question, and this particular sign is just ask and answer. So if you see that sign, avoid it at all costs. Do not click on it. Just don't. And by the way, it doesn't tell you a blooming thing. So I've had Ghost down. I just redid Pixie. So we're saving cats left and right. And we paid the 200 and almost $70, or I think it was, for Ghost. And it was a week and a half. And she had the attack again. And again, I had the medication. I know how to treat it. Again, I've had it. I still do. So does my son. Anaphylactic shock, you just can't breathe. No matter how hard you try, everything's swollen up. So I knew how to bring her out of that. And I had the medicine that is prescribed to me, and that worked. So we did good with that. I was able to contain that. Now, I was lucky if you don't catch it fast. I mean, if they're already, it's hard to keep a cat out of anaphylactic shock, let me tell you. But my husband ran out last night because meanwhile, I'm holding the cat and I have to get the medicine down, and I know how to do that. I also worked at a vet's for a long, and my brother was always bringing home pets, alligators, it didn't matter, broken wings, pigeons, and so forth, and we would nurse them back to health. And I didn't realize how much I learned from doing that. So I was able to arrest last night's attack, and I said he thought it might have something to do with the food, and I did too, because that's the only thing that would have changed in the past week and a half, 2 weeks would be the type of moist food. And so it was, hold her, get the medicine down her, keep holding her. Also, when their paws, I'll tell you now, when a cat's paws are sweaty, they have a fever. So you have to treat several things at one time. You need antihistamine, you need antibiotics, you need albuterol, you need epinephrine. And luckily for me and her, I pretty much have all of that. So no, I'm not a well woman. But the point was, I was able to stabilize her, and I had her stay with me and all the other cats out because they wanted to know what was happening. So I told them she was okay, go to bed, and they did. But I was kind of up every hour. If I noticed I nodded off, I was up because I've nursed, I think, 6 cats back to health now from major injuries and things like that. Again, by just looking them up on Google and using what I had at home. And sometimes that's enough. Not always. Like when Ghost went into her first anaphylactic shock, I thought it was her lungs. I'm not a vet. When she was diagnosed, however, with anaphylactic shock, they could not tell us what she was allergic to. So it's up to us to find out what she's allergic to and maintain her from going into another fit where she can't breathe, and then they panic and it closes more. But I have everything I need to stop that. Thank you, Lord. I mean, amen. However they want to say that, guys, pick a spot. Organized religion and we don't usually get together, so we won't bore you with that. I promise I will try to edit, but you may see a dark screen of me cleaning up for the cat. And I'm going to have to wait to get coffee. So we've had no sleep. He ran out, and I found the best food I could find for her for any allergies. We had two dogs that were the same way when we rescued them. They couldn't hardly breathe. They were dying. And the vets both times said, let them go. And both times we went, no. Somebody has to care enough to try, no matter what. I mean, you try. You don't go, oh, well, they're sick and let's off them. Well, they do at those places, but you got to pay them 175. I've been there, done that right now, and in this decade, you now have to pay them $175 because they died on the table because the vets didn't do really nothing. But they will, however, charge you 175 and give you the ashes back, bastards. Sorry. Uh, they're like insurance companies because we don't like them. Name me one person that has gone 30 years without a ticket who has gotten their insurance, say half of their insurance back. Show of hands. Anybody? Yeah, I didn't think so. So why isn't the government making sure they're paying us back? Maybe we'd be better off asking those blooming questions than who the hell are they sending $500 million to the Ukraine for? Not that I don't believe in what they're doing, but we got veterans living in the streets. We got families living from paycheck to paycheck, and I know that because I'm one of them. We live on a fixed income. And I can't tell you how hard that is because you only have X amount coming in and your bills are steady going the hell up. Okay. And they don't care if you have a fixed income. They come touch your shit off. No way. Sorry. I'm in a mood. I really am. Um, as far as the headlines today, I was, like I said, Puff Daddy's being stupid again. And what really shocked me was that the IDF had pulled out of southern Gaza. Apparently, the terrorists, I don't know what they're calling them now, they're terrorists. Says if you pull it completely out of Gaza, you fix Gaza, you make sure you feed every Gazan, and then we'll talk about your hostages. I'd have done been tired of the talking. And I was done sent raised to every freaking thing I knew. And you can't tell me the IDF don't have some clothes. I would be loping off heads left and right, honey. I wouldn't have waited 3 weeks to invade Gaza. I wouldn't have waited 3 days, but that's just an army vet. All you do is give them more time to be prepared. You don't do that. You're not going to win a war like, hey, I'll be there at 9:30 on Monday. Eisenhower's flipping in his coffin. Oh, we got a new one. Hey, guys. I'm going to answer with emojis. Yeah, I trust you guys. Yeah, I will come back to you. I did get back to my live chat yesterday and answered everybody and have a lot. Uh, hey, Brian. Sup, dude? Thank you. Hit the bell, Brian. Hit the bell. So we're going to go with that. I'm answering with emojis until I can have more time, and I will get back to it because I did again open my second Chromebook, and I don't have a monitor sitting here except for me who's talking to myself. I haven't looked at the algorithms, and I still needed 70. I don't know. Let's just put it this way: I needed 1,000 to get over the hump, and meaning I can then open a Patreon channel, same channel, and for free. A Patreon channel, however, is like $5 a month, I believe. And then I can start throwing out those tie-dyed shirts and stuff. We could, any ideas anybody's got, I'll make them happen. You know what I'm saying? It's time to take back hippiedom. It's time for us to stand up. I don't care if we're 82. It's time for us to stand up, get together at the table, and show them this is what hippies are. This is what hippies are. We're not the idiots in the Congress taking your money. We're not the idiots in Congress taking your Social Security. We're not the idiots in Congress that make you pay insurance that you will never, ever, 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 ever get back. We're not the idiots in Congress that say, oh, did we take your unemployment? Did you call? No, you didn't have to. No, we're not giving that back. Show of hands. Yeah. Surprised? No, we're not surprised. You can't take a knife to a missile fight. So there is no fighting in City Hall. They're right about that. So I don't understand that, Black Lives Matter crap because every life matters as far as I'm concerned. I didn't stop the doctor and say, hey, is that white blood? Give me a break. This is the 21st century. I don't care if you're purple with pink polka dots. I don't care. There's no difference. You are allowed to say what you want. You're allowed to think what you want. And if you're my country, you're allowed to do all of the above without being shot. However, we're getting a little stupid lately with the 11 million. And I tell you what, now they will come and take a fixed income person's money for a bill that you don't know nothing about. They slam at you. They will take your Social Security. They will take your retirement. They don't care if you have tuna for dinner. But they sure paid for those damned hotels, didn't they? For those who came across, I'll put it that way. Because I guarantee you, those were not just Hispanic peoples who were not able to find a job. These people had phones, cigarettes. Where the hell were the babies, by the way? You know? Oh, come on. How many terrorists got through? Show of hands? I'm figuring a million and a half. They've already said they were going to start global jihad and they would start the U.S. Nobody heard that? No, you didn't hear that because the talking heads are all doing political crap. Stop watching them. Turn them off. Don't watch them. Don't let them be on your TV. Don't let them be on your radio. Don't let them be on your phone, etc. And let's see how fast these stupid idiots decide that they should be news. Does anybody know about the earthquake? I mean, the volcano in Sicily? Yeah, the large one went off. Uh, in the moment the name slips past me. There, an earthquake hit Taiwan. There are buildings just kind of leaning, and they're trying to get to the inhabitants at the top to get them out with fire. I didn't see anybody going to their aid. It's been 3 days, I think. This would be the third day. And they didn't have a little earthquake, okay? I'm just saying. And Japan was hit too. One of the main skyscrapers there was a new one, and they had built it on these suspension things. And then there was something else that would control the suspension. That building's fine. It's fine. I don't know how many dead there are in Taiwan yet. And I can't recall really if it was China or Japan that had the other earthquake. Um, there is water gushing out of the Sahara Desert. Water is gushing from the Sahara Desert. Now we've had the 2 days of darkness. I didn't bother to go see it. The one I see it better on my blooming TV. You know, I'm just saying. So I wasn't real impressed with the news. I was not happy with the idea. I understand that people are blaming it for displacing 107 million people. But they displaced themselves when they decided that they would have a country run by terrorists and that they would steal millions, actually billions of dollars. And the UN knew it. Now, I agree with all the families that lost those 7 aid workers. It should never have happened, ever. And the IDF grieves as well. But you got to look at I don't think any of you people, at least not most of you, understand what a war is. We've been at one for 20 years, and he decided to pull out of Afghanistan and give, the Air Force base. And a lot of he gave away more Black Hawk helicopters than we have assigned at any base in the U.S. Great president. Yeah, love it. Did you see the money he left? Oh, yeah, all kinds of currencies. A couple billion. Just left there for him. Uniforms, boots, ammo, tanks, whatever the hell they needed. Yeah, they're downsizing ours, but let's make sure they've got a working Air Force base with our equipment and nobody had a problem. I have a freaking problem with that. Okay. I don't care if they said, oh, do y'all, and it's not to say like they go, oh, do you agree with us spending $200 billion in arms to Ukraine? No, no. I mean, I'm sorry for them. I hope they win, but I'm not. Where do you send money? You send it to the people who are bleeding in your streets who already gave their lives in service to your country. That's just a drop in the bucket. When are people going to say something besides Black Lives Matter? All lives matter. All. Like I said, I don't care if you're purple with pink polka dots. You matter just as much as the white, Caucasian, brown, yellow, what the hell ever else they're coming up with. I didn't see them add that to the textbooks that they nearly destroyed every, as they call it, red man on this continent. You talk about genocide? Read something. Pull it up on Google, read about it. Oh, I'm sure it'll be a short paragraph. And do your own investigations on that. Because I tell you right now, as a veteran of the Army, serving the United States once, the United States will not hesitate to pull a trigger facing their own citizens. And that's long before I even walked into the picture. Look up Kent State. These kids were putting fucking flowers, excuse my language, into the barrels. Some idiot opened fire. So they all opened fire on college kids armed with freaking flowers. So don't ever, ever think that you won't have a Tiananmen Square in the U.S. because I promise you it's already been done. But our lovely, beautiful set of freedom and transparency. I love that transparency thing. Apparently, it's transparent when they want it to be. The rest of the time, they sleep it under the rug. And those that are called, well, they're talking political heads, but they still say news. They're not reporting on that crap. I was there when Waco was taken down. There was kids, there was women. And for a matter of fact, David Koresh, who was supposed to be their main problem, had just gone to the store. They could have stopped him there. No, they murdered a bunch of kids and women instead. For what? Yeah, look that one up too. And look up Ruby Ridge. And then you come back up here and you tell me that our military won't shoot you in the face. And I'll tell you the same thing. Read further, look into that further. They will shoot you where you stand because that's how we're trained. When they if they shoot, you've done it without even thinking about it. You are that trained. That's what training means. It means you will follow an order without question. Without question. Y'all need to remember that. Now, I didn't see that happening with Black Lives Matter and them burning down police stations. I haven't seen it with these sanctuary cities, which, by the way, is civil war. I don't know where you people are. Read a book, go to Google. I'm sorry, it's civil war. You either go by the law of the land or you have seceded from the state. We've got all these. Is it doing any blooming good? No. These people have tents on the sidewalks, on everything. They are squatting and crapping in the middle of the freaking sidewalk. Because why? Because all of our laws are not being followed. You got 11 million come across the border. You gave them tickets, hotels, and phones. When you had homeless in the streets that fought 15 years for their country, give me a break. This is what the hippies need to get together about. This is what we need to be talking about right here. Now, I'm not afraid of these jerks. And I don't think you are either. So come out here, get a little happy, and sit down with Lady Hippie. And I'll tell you, they didn't call me wicked for no reason. It's just saying. I'm not afraid to say it. I think that's what most people are because they're afraid check to check, you know? And I understand that because I wouldn't even watch news. I didn't participate in that. I worked 2 jobs in college to get, enough food for my son. And my husband did the same thing. It's our generation didn't have a lot of choice. Your generation doesn't have a lot of choice. But do you want your blooming kids to have a choice? Or their kids to have a choice? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you kind of want to. So I don't care what you call it. I don't care if you call it meet the crazy old lady at the bar. She's nuts. I don't care if you call it Lady Hippie at the bar. I don't care what you call it. Tickle that bell. Hit the like. I don't care if you hit the dislike. Throw some comments on there. Now, a lot of people I see, they call them reactors and they throw a lot of stuff in there from other clips, from other people that have gathered. I watch them. I'm subscribed to them. But I never, and I still don't feel comfortable with taking their hard-earned material and making it part of mine so that you can watch the little ghosty walking across the street. There's 15 of those stations. I think there's a lot more interesting things that we can do on social media than look to see what 15 other people put up that day. It's not necessary. I know because I looked. I'm a paranormal investigator myself and have been since I was 9 years old. Back when we had reel to reel for our sound recordings and stuff. You know, the old. One time I got what was it? It was a World War II song. I can't think of it now. And in the event, and this was yes. So I've been looking into the paranormal for a long, 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 long time. And these kids are going out there, but they got new equipment and they're finding stuff. Everybody's got phones; they can upload instantly. The world can see it. This is awesome material. This is great. These are young guys, young girls, and that's who should be investigating. I just don't have no more ass to get out there and do it. I'd rather just pull it up and see what they found because I already know what they're going to find. There's so many categories. Even people who work at Dulce Base. I don't know if everybody knows what a dumb is, but it's a deep underground military bunker. And they've got them so big that 18 whalers drive 1,500 miles through that tunnel to get rid of supplies. I know, I saw it on TV and they actually talked. They didn't know they were being recorded, but they talked. So, what the hell's underneath there? And 1,500 miles, where'd they go? Where, what? What? You know they're not going to come up here and get on TV and do the national broadcast and say, "Hello, everybody, run to Bunker 4." You know, if they were, we'd know about Bunker 4. Just saying. We can't trust anybody in Congress. I don't know who the hell they're calling president, but if they're 80, they don't know where the bathroom is. I'm just saying. Who gets up in the morning at 80 years old and has supposedly stolen enough to have millions of dollars and look that up too, has to get up and go, I'm president. No, they don't. Why? There's something to this. The Electoral College, again, look it up, votes in the American president. Look it up. It's an exact quote off Google. You don't. Now, they say it's based on your vote. You vote November. When does the Electoral College vote? Look it up. I'm not going to tell you this time. You can look it up. You tell me. Uh huh. This nation is not free, and it's not ours. If it were ours, we wouldn't have been allowing 11 million more immigrants to come in here. Did they wear a mask? Did they have COVID? Did they have the flu? Did they have the measles? Did they have smallpox? Diphtheria? Anything? You don't women know. You don't know. Now, measles, smallpox, and other things have begun a new recurrence, and that shit was wiped out when I was just a kid, and that was a long damn time ago. Okay, so let's bring us hippies in here and say enough. We are going to talk about the crap that the government's doing, and they need to go. If it was us, and we were 250 years ago, dear God above, honey, think about that. Those that didn't get hung in the rose garden would have been tarred and feathered and run out of town, and they would have started with the lobbyists and worked their way out. Nobody in Congress would have got out of it. They wouldn't have. I'm talking to the press secretary. Everybody in DC is crooked. I've been there, worked there, did that, done that. To tell you the truth, they all crooked. My dad was right when he said that the mob hung up their Tommy guns, put on a suit and tie, and went to D.C. Where do you think the money comes from? How come they're getting $50 billion to make a run for Congress or whatever? Where'd they get that money? Is really everybody that stupid to say, well, you might get it. Let me give you $100. Really? Stick it in your bank account. Do like Fannie Willis did, the DA in Chicago that's prosecuting Trump. Stick it in your mattress. Yeah, she had 90 grand. No, I'm sorry, 900,000 some odd dollars to give to one of the attorneys she hired, which she was also having an affair with. She paid him in cash. She don't use banks. Think about that statement. She is a hired DA. She was an elected DA. So y'all in Chicago, and I'm from Chicago, you elected this thing. And this Miss Thing is still prosecuting. She did not get removed from the bar. The judge, who should have recused himself in the beginning, and certainly halfway through when he knew what was coming, he's still adjudicating. Neither of them should still be holding a job, are they? Yeah. Why? What is it? What are we all afraid of? Get on my channel and let's talk. Let's get together. Let's find out what we're afraid of. Let's find out how we can say something. We still have freedom of speech. It may not be much and the right to bear arms, but it's enough for me. As far as I'm concerned, you come at me, I'm going to take you as many as I can. Because I've seen those reels. I've been to those concentration camps, people. You can smell them 50 miles away. It's been 75, 80 years. And by the way, if you do want to check one out, they're not in bloody Germany. Most are in Poland. I noticed they didn't put that in the damn books either, that they're called history books. If you really want to know the truth about some particular subject, close that history book from school. It's worthless. It's no good. It's a jumbled set of lies, a paragraph and a half. You want to know? Look it up on Google, download it, and really learn it. Or listen to the people who are your parents, your grandparents. I see way too much of them treating parents and grandparents in horrific ways. My grandson tried that once. That was all it took. He won't do that again. He tried it on his grandfather. And his grandfather turned out he didn't like the way he talking to his grandma, so he just slapped him. Yeah, that boy stood there a second, wavering, saying, "Wow, I think I passed out for a second." You know, kids are stupid. He had just come in from Korea, was just through with the military. Um, my husband knows I'll pick up a baseball bat, beat you half to damn death, blow up at me. I dare you. I don't care if I'm 90. I'll get an equalizer. I don't care. There's nobody going to do that to me, especially my grandchild or my great grandchild. No, they need to talk to their daddy or their granddaddy because my son will tell them real back that one was crazy. I knocked him out one time with a phone because he said he wasn't going to school and I was on the phone. I just bit a man down, shoulder him out. I can carry a man. That's what the army teaches you. Man down is how you get him. You got to get him out of there. Yeah, so I was trained to do all that. I was trained to do it in the karate classes I took all those years. So sometimes we little people look a little small, but we can pack a fairly good damn punch, I'll tell you what. So again, I ask you guys, I can't do this without you, and I don't want to do it without you. I need you guys. And I still haven't quite made 1,000 yet where I can open it up where there's more of us. I want a social Woodstock. There's no way you guys are going to ever convince me that we're happy with the way our government is being run. How can you be happy with your government when they're doing everything in the world to bring down your country? What is the easiest way to bring down a country? Hands, anybody? I'll tell you what, I ain't got a lot of time. From within. From within. Now, we've got a global jihad that's just been declared against us. So, how many of those got through? Huh? Do we wait until they blow up a busload of kids and say, wait a second, that's, hey, do you want to wait that long? Or should we all get together and talk about this and demand that the government, A, be disbanded that's there, B, you cannot raise money from citizens to run? Because what happens to $500 million to just buy ads? They don't need ads and we don't need to pay for them, so stop giving them shit. Don't ever, again, give money to a politician. Just don't. And I guarantee you things will start changing. You'll see. Don't vote and don't give them any money. And then sit back and watch and see what the hell they say. I'll bet you a dime to a donut that they get up there and they say so and so won. It's like Bush won against Gore and hanging Chads. Yeah, some of you are a little young to remember that. Gore won that damned election, and Bush knew it. They hunted for a week and a half before they figured out the Chads were hanging. They were still using paper votes in Florida. Get a grip. We're not all stupid. And I'd like to show them that. I'd like to show them that as grandparents, great grandparents, maybe in some cases, but hippies nonetheless. We don't believe in anything like this. We've been live and love and peace. No war. We fought 2 wars for 20 years. Why? Now, one of those countries had a terrorist on board a plane. Why don't they talk about the plane that hit the Pentagon? How come nobody talks about the plane that hit the Pentagon and they said, let's roll? Hit a field in Pennsylvania. I mean, where are they? Oh, they get there, they ring that bell. for those towers that went down. How did Tower 7 come down? Did you get hit by nothing? Nothing. It was a timed explosion. That those two buildings were brought down just as they did the MGM Grand in California. Look it up. You've got tons and tons of engineers who will show you what is going on. You can see the puffs as each explosion comes along each level. And they did this. They pancaked. That's the only way you can get a pancake. Oh yeah, the jet fuel. Oh yeah, it did damage when it hit. Sure it did. Sure it did. But I think it's called Trinidad. There's only one thing that I know of or I've heard of that the military actually uses that will melt steel quickly. I mean, within it, mind you, both these buildings went down within a little over an hour of being hit. They wouldn't have ordinarily. That's why the firemen went back in. So that's why they told the people go back to work. Idiots looked at them and went back in. I'd have slapped the piss out of you, stupid. But they did. They went back in. Many of them did and died. And jumped onto these buildings, at the 100th floor. But those buildings, if you look, I mean, slow them down, look at it frame by frame, you will see the puffs coming out where the explosives are going off. And yeah, they can bring the helicopters. I don't care. They can make breakfast. Yeah, these are really rough topics. I agree. And this is why I say I don't want to rabbit somebody else's stuff. I could throw video after video in here. Uh, you ask me to do so, I'll be happy to do so. But I think there's more important things to do and let the others drop that. We can check them out later and talk about them still. But we need you guys. I can't do it without you. I can't keep my channel. I need 1,000 subscribers. I need those likes. If you guys want to get in this fight before we can't do anything, then hit the like, and we're all hippies and we're all sharing and we're all talking about the same thing. By the way, just so you remember, they militarized the IRS. This, I can't say, Biden. I just can't put a title with him. He did militarize the IRS and added 88,000 to their number. Now, what the hell do you think they're going after? You really think they're going after those millionaires on top of that hill? I will buy you. I swear to God, I will be pants and sell tickets. I mean, really, I'll even give the tickets away if that's the case. Now, why other reason would they militarize the IRS? Because they got me for your money. Does anybody remember what a pilgrim is, what it was, why they came, what they did, who did that to them? Read a book. Look it up on Google. Do something. Do your own information, do your own checks, and you're going to find that they have lied to us every day of every year that we've been alive. Not just this country that they took, but South America too. Let's throw those smallpox blankets in there. They don't got nothing like smallpox. Let's throw that in there too. Let's kill all the buffalo. That's what they eat, and that's how they make their clothes. Look it up. I need you guys out here. There's got to be a way for all of us to get together and say enough. There's things built into the frame and the working of the Constitution, let alone the Bill of Rights. And it's time for somebody who's honest to oversee this, to do something about it, talk about it at the very least. I mean, we lost people at Kent State because they were protesting the Vietnam War and were saying love, not war. That's why we lost them. Love, not war. They shot them anyway. Our army did on a college campus because they had flowers. Look it up. We have our own Tiananmen Square people, but yet we have the audacity to reach out and say, you can't do that, right? Now we have the audacity to turn around and tell Israel, you don't have a right to defend yourself. Yeah, they killed it's only a couple thousand. It's only 100 and some odd hostages left. Get out of there. You've done enough. Rebuild it. I mean, I'm listening to this and and it was like shades of World War II. My father had an absolute nut when he saw they were rebuilding Berlin and Japan. Uh, the other thing I questioned was why did they have to drop 2 nukes on Japan? It's a freaking island. A freaking island, okay? One wasn't enough. I mean, seriously. They dropped two on an island. That's not, they kind of glossed through that in history. There's a lot to wake up to. And I know we hippies know this. Anybody is welcome to my channel. You can be a hippie if you're 14. You can be a hippie if you're 84. It don't make a damn. Come and see me. Tickle that bell. I need you. I love all the ones I've got, and I know today I've given you more of a lecture than I have fun because of what I'm seeing, because what I've seen already happen, and because I can see down the road. And I know that there's more than me out here saying, hold up a damn minute. We didn't say you could do that. When did we vote on that 200 billion that you spent? How did you get to 32 trillion? We didn't vote for that. And it's time. It's time. They got a president to resign because he was actually recording people in his office. That's not a problem. They do it automatically now. But they actually got him to resign because otherwise they'd taken different actions. So why can't we stop this? Yes, we can stop this. We need everybody. We may not even be able to stop it, but maybe we can make the next two generations turn around and look and try to do something better with this. There are a couple of younger ones that are in Congress, all veterans. Those I appreciate and I've watched. You can watch Congress all day long if you'd like. It'll come up. YouTube is free, by the way. I'm going to tell everybody again. Most of my age group does not have YouTube. You don't have to pay for it. Just make sure you don't get the premium YouTube because you got to pay for that. But YouTube is live. I mean, I'm sorry. YouTube is free. Just download it. And if you're wanting to find me, go over on the left side and you'll see the little search with the little magnifying glass and just put in Lady Hippie. I'm all over the place. And I intend to stay there. I mean, I'm not one for sitting back and being quiet. Never have been. But I've never managed to use this type of media at all. It didn't occur to me at first to use this media, or even if I could. And then when I decided it was worth trying to do, my son bought me a kit to start my first one, and my husband bought me a kit to start my first podcast. So I'm able to have people to interview and I'm able to speak to you. I can drop, videos. And again, I think it's a waste of time. If you really wanted to know if the ghosties were out last night with Twin Paranormal, go to their site. I want to be able to say the hippies have said peace, love, no war. Why are you trying to start another war? Why are you taking trillions of dollars in debt to us? Why are they suing Trump again? And I mean everybody and God, but and Fannie Willis is still Fannie. What a name! Is still the DA in Chicago for Illinois to sue him. Really? So you got a a dirty DA, you got a dirty judge, but you're going to sue a dirty president that you haven't proved is dirty and never was. He wasn't. I expected him to be myself. And it turned out we needed a businessman to straighten the shit out. We needed somebody to tell us the truth that who was getting billions of dollars from us and they were sending it to China where we got, amen, the Chinese virus. So you guys can call it COVID-19. You can call it whatever the hell you want. The deal was it came out of a Chinese lab and we paid them to invent it. It's more than time to wake up and talk about this shit. It's time to grow a backbone. If you don't like my podcast, start your own. There's tons of us out there. But if you want to talk and you want to stay in the hippie group, come and see me. And yeah, I'm in one of those moods of listen, react, talk like we used to because it's necessary. We got grandkids. Some of us have great grandkids. And if nothing else, we can talk about the party that we had to 76. I got a dozen of those. But for now, I got to go. I'll see if I can edit. If not, bear with me. I had to stop you for a second while I ran around and cleaned up my coffee. So hopefully you're going to have a better day than I did, because mine has been a mess like since yesterday. So, and again, my husband wants to get out and do stuff. So, and he's very supportive in this. So I'm going to wrap. Really, guys, I need you. I can't do without you. I appreciate every one of you. Sending hugs, everybody. The rest of you, jump in here. Hit that bell, throw that like out, tell your friends, share, do everything you can. Toodles.